Anyway, what's on the front cover of The Guardian, Nick?
Guardian's got senior Tories turn against Braverman's racist rhetoric, inverted commas. And this is kind of a sort of slightly non-story, as Lewis Schaefer would say. It's kind of pathetic that the Tory wets, I suppose, anonymously are saying that, oh, we don't like Suella Braverman's rhetoric. And I suppose she does say some crude things sometimes, but surely the bigger problem is the issues she talks about, such as the small boats problem. I think this concern around the language of it, I've always found a bit pathetic. It's more like, let's actually tackle the problem. But anyway, there are people, one of them is Tobias Elwood, who's not anonymous, sort of having a pop at Suella, saying that he sort of goes against the image the Tories are trying to create of pragmatic competence with Sunak, that she's a bit of a renegade, sort of thing. But I think she's all right. I think she's got her heart's in the right place. And the other claim is that she's from a former senior minister to the Boris Johnson's government, it doesn't say who. The claim is that she's a real racist bigot. When you first hear that, you go, OK, well, she's Asian for a start, so it makes it kind of ridiculous. But then again, of course, other people obviously can be racist of any race. But then you go, is she really racist? Because she doesn't particularly want, immigration, especially illegal immigration, to be out of control. So I think it's pretty pathetic.
Baroness Varsi has gone on the record and been very, very critical, which is quite interesting. And, she's out of the frame really now, isn't she? She's not terribly important within the Tory party. But, I suppose you could certainly argue that Braverman says fairly crude, casual, crass stuff. But then you kind of suspect that she's been given a licence to play that innings, don't you?
You think she's the attack dog? The thing that strikes me as silly about this is that the people who are concerned about the language of Suella Braverman, they're all going to vote Labour and Lib Dem and Green anyway. So
absolutely.
Does it matter? You're not going to win people over, are you?
And it is on the front page of The Guardian, after all, who are trying to find division within the Tory party.
Yeah, it seems like
for political reasons.
They're making a lot of fuss over.
Not very much.
Well, not very much. It's just somebody who probably has an axe to grind. Probably wasn't included in a coffee round or something. And, so they're saying this about Braverman, and also they're dragging the culture wars into it. They're saying the Tories need to stop playing the culture wars, but people on the right don't play the culture wars. We react to ridiculous things that are happening, such as drag queens being sent into schools to teach children, or people being arrested over tweets. And when we react to that, we're accused of stoking divisive culture wars, which is ridiculous.
But one thing that's characteristic of the woke ideology is that it doesn't, I was reading an article about this today, it doesn't admit that it's the ruling ideology in charge. It gaslights everyone into thinking it's still the oppressed, while cancelling everyone and running everything. That's one of its traits. Yeah, and the ideology is so strong and so firmly held that even when, a transgender shooter shoots up a school in Nashville, they're still painted as the victim. Yeah. And the entire group and the ideology is still painted as the victim. Anyway, we move on to the Mirror.
Well, sorry, could I just say, also on the front page of The Guardian, which is this is breaking news right now, isn't it? The FBI have arrested a 21-year-old over the leak of defence documents, which is all the stuff which has appeared on the internet, which is a shocking breach of security. I mean, America are famously very, very leaky.
In a gaming forum as well, and this is what
shocking, really shocking.
Military security leaks in gaming forums.
Why was a 21-year-old given security access to documents like that?
Why was a 21-year-old playing Minecraft? That's what I want to know. It's a game for 6-year-olds.